Hi everybody and welcome back to the latest news right here on the Toon Review YouTube channel, your first place to go for everything Newcastle United. Thank you very much for tuning in to the video this afternoon. Now, as you can see there at the bottom, it says Nagelsmann reports are rubbish. We're going to be talking a bit about Julian Nagelsmann because he has been linked from Germany's side, that is, to the manager's role at Newcastle United in the summer. We've also got news on Huang, of Wolves, who has destroyed Newcastle in recent seasons, might not be playing on Saturday, and Newcastle keeping an eye on a geordie fullback, so we'll have more on that in the show as well. Now, we'll start off with Nagelsmann, and these rumours really started a couple of days ago from the German side of things, and they have claimed that Newcastle United have shown an interest in the young German manager who has had very, very big success in his early managerial career and is apparently on the radar for Newcastle United. Now, the reports from Germany are very different to the reports that we're hearing over here in the UK. Craig Hope, etc., a lot of the Newcastle United journalists have pretty much poo-pooed this report completely down. Now, what we need to expect as Newcastle United fans coming up in the months to follow, up until the end of the season, all across the summer, is will Eddie Howe be in charge? Now, I've made it perfectly clear on this channel, despite criticising some of his decisions, that I am 100% behind Eddie Howe, and I want Eddie Howe to have an absolute legacy at Newcastle United. I want him manager for years to come. I like his work ethic. I like the way he thinks about the game. However, we all know that there's improvements there to be made, but it's a rough time Newcastle are going through, and it's been a rough time now for about 2 or 3 months, hasn't it? And Eddie's under pressure. Eddie will feel the pressure himself. However, that may just spur him on. But look, every manager makes mistakes, but I'm 100% behind Eddie Howe. And I think rumours of other managers coming in are just part and parcel of being a Premier League manager, especially when you're going through a little bit of a rough spell. Now, I know a lot of Newcastle United fans have sort of didn't want to admit that they wanted Eddie Howe out, or they were struggling to see Eddie Howe continue as Newcastle United manager, and they've gone down that other side of the hill now where they think a replacement would be necessary. Not for me. I think Eddie Howe is still the man. I'm not sure what's given me that idea, especially during the rough patch that we're having and seeing the way we're playing, but I don't believe he's lost the dressing room. I don't believe he's lost the players. You know, the players have got to respond themselves. And I don't think that, that camaraderie that Newcastle United had in the dressing room has simply disappeared and they've got problems with the manager. Everything was great when we were winning, and it always is when we're winning. The main test comes when you're not winning football matches, and that's what's happening at the minute. We're scraping through games. It's not like we're not winning. We are winning a couple of games, but we're losing or drawing games that maybe we shouldn't be. But I am still 100% behind Eddie Howe, and I need to make that clear. These reports of other managers coming in, they're going to be around for the months till the end of the season, and especially in the summer. Everybody is thinking, are PIF going to trust Eddie Howe with the transfer window? Are they going to trust him with millions of pounds to go and buy players? We know that they're going to have a decent budget in the summer. Are they going to trust Eddie Howe? And I think they will. There's no reason for Eddie Howe to be sacked at the minute. We're not in a relegation place. Yes, a lot of people would have said, hit Europe again this season after the highs of last. But it very rarely happens in football. We are on a process here with Newcastle United. And yes, we've been very critical of Eddie Howe and the players on this channel. But we're fans. And fans are allowed to be critical. We can sit here and say what we think is wrong or what we think is right. That doesn't necessarily make us, as YouTube channel hosts, right or wrong. It's an opinion. But I believe that Eddie Howe needs to do something a little bit different in the matches to come. He needs to show better game management, for one. Not be too frightened to make ruthless decisions early in a game. Where he's waiting until the 65th minute before he's even changing anything. I think that's a bit of a risky tactic from Eddie. However, the players have got to get us out of this little funk we're in. We're getting them back from injury now. We've got a very, very strong squad going into the next few games. So let's utilise that and let's see these players really respond. I don't believe for 1 second he's lost the dressing room. A lot of fans do think that, and, that's their opinion. And whether it's right or wrong, it's their opinion. And I don't necessarily disagree or agree with it, but my opinion is I don't think the dressing room has been lost. And obviously, quality managers like Nagelsmann are going to be mentioned in every breath with Newcastle United, because that's where we are. We can bring these top-named managers in, and Nagelsmann is one of them. He is a brilliant manager, don't get me wrong. And if Eddie Howe wasn't at the club, would I like to see Nagelsmann come in? 100%. But those conversations for new managers should happen when we don't have one. Okay? We've got Eddie Howe. And look, I'm not going to turn my back on Eddie at the minute. I think he's going through a rough spell. As a manager, he's going through a really tough time. And the players are going through a tough time at the minute because something hasn't lined up. The intensity, the press, whatever you want to say, about what we do on the football field has, disappeared. It has disappeared. And that for me is a worry. Seeing the way we're just lacking a bit of intensity at the moment is a worry. But I genuinely think that some of them players are on the pitch at the minute not 100% fit. There's news about Botman in the media this morning saying that he necessarily won't come back against Wolves. They might give him a little bit of time out and make sure that they build his fitness up again so that next season he's ready to go. Now, whether this involves an operation or anything like that, I have not a Scooby-Doo. We'll have to wait and see what they do with Sven Botman. But manager-wise, there's some big names out there. There's some huge names out there in manager world. But I am convinced, I still am convinced, don't ask me why, the way we're playing at the minute, but I am convinced that Eddie Howe is the right man. And he will lead us to great things. At least I hope he does. Because I think Eddie Howe, the way he works, the way he thinks about the game, the way he commits himself, he deserves some success. And I think in a way he deserves Newcastle United fans to support him through this bad spell. We've seen teams go through bad spells in the past and come out the other side. Manchester City have bad spells during their season, but there's never a call for Guardiola to be sacked. I know we're talking about an elite manager here, but you get where I'm going with that. I think Eddie Howe has still got a lot to offer. But the one thing Eddie Howe, I think, does have a problem with is a little bit of stubbornness when it comes to, making changes or anything that he's hearing in the media. He'll hear things like, the fans want a certain player. And Eddie Howe sort of just sticks by his trusted gang, if you like. So I think he needs to change a little bit with that. But, these Nagelsmann or whoever it be managers, they won't help Newcastle United right now. These rumours floating around, they won't help the players. I don't know who it is from the German side that started these rumours, but there's not one really English media outlet has reported this as a fact. A lot of them have said it's a load of rubbish, so they don't know where the Germans are getting their information from. But we will see this building up to the summer and into next season. A couple of results don't go our way. We will get linked with top-class managers because PIF can afford them. But right now, a kind of rallying call that we need to get behind Eddie and the lads, starting with Saturday. Let's get a good result against Fulham and let's start, finishing off this season in a bit more of a positive way. The cup draw's a bit of a shitter going to the Etihad, but you just never know. If we've got a real strong squad back, football's a strange game. I don't think we'll get through, but hey, I hope I'm wrong. I really am. I want to get back to Wembley. But I think, these reports of new managers, etc., they're not going to do any good to Eddie Howe or the players. And yes, absolutely be critical of some decisions that are made or the way players are playing. That's our right as fans. But it doesn't say we don't want success. And we do want success. And despite the criticism, I'm still 110% behind Eddie Howe. I will tell you if I change that opinion. But right now, Eddie is the man. Without a doubt. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, one player that's torn Newcastle apart in recent seasons is Hwang. Obviously, the Wolves striker, he's been a thorn in our side for a lot of the time we've played Wolves. Whether that be away from home, at home, or whatever it may be. It's always a very, very difficult game when we play against Hwang. However, news has come out this morning that that he's pretty much 95% certain that he's going to miss the game with an injury. So that can only bode well for us because Hwang has caused us all sorts of problems. He's a speedy little guy and he knows where the net is. Certainly knows where the net is against Newcastle United. But the fact he could be missing, for me, is huge for Saturday's game because Wolves do depend on a lot of speed. They're in good form at the minute, Wolves. Let's not beat around the bush. They are in very, very good form and will be a handful on Saturday. But missing Hwang is huge for them. Huge, because he's always been a thorn in our side whenever we've played. So that is the news coming out of Wolves this morning, that Hwang may not make it on Saturday. Now, finally, Newcastle United obviously continue their search for players moving forward and certainly into the next transfer window. And one of the guys that has been linked again this morning is a geordie. He's a young lad called Leif Davis, and he plays for Ipswich. Now, this was reported by TalkSport, and they claim that we're showing interest in him because he's having a very, very good season in the Championship for Ipswich. But the fact he's a geordie as well. This kid was born in Newcastle United. Was born in Newcastle, I should say, and started his youth career with Wallsend Boys Club, who have also, let's be honest, provided some great players over the past years, haven't they? Before he moved to Morecambe and then to Leeds, who sold him to Ipswich for 1.2 million, and he's gone on from strength to strength. He's 6 foot tall, is Leif Davis. He's a left back. Now, I didn't really want to say that straight away, that he was a left back, because everybody's going to go, oh my God, why on earth do we need another left back? Why? I don't know. At the minute, obviously Newcastle United are wanting to build a squad. So whether that's several players for several different positions, that may well be the case. So Leif Davis, he's 24-year-old now, so he's not like a young kid anymore. He's, it's not a teenager. We would be buying him to, obviously, a 24-year-old. He'd be a first-team squad member. Now, as for the price, I don't know. He's got 14 assists in 31 championship appearances this season. That is absolutely incredible. And that's matched his total already for the previous season. So from left back, he's picked up 14 assists for Ipswich, which is incredible, really, for a 6 foot left back. So, yeah, for me, I think, if we are targeting him, then obviously that doesn't bode well for the likes of Lewis Hall, etc., or Matt Targett, who we still don't have any clue what's going to go on with. Matt Targett, obviously, apparently, according to TalkSport, is likely to depart. And obviously, Chelsea loanee Lewis Hall going down the pecking order. But they're still convinced he's going to sign. So it's a strange one. But look, this guy is a talented player, and he gets forward, he defends really well, and I think that's what we're missing at Newcastle. We're missing a bit of both, aren't we? That kind of player who can do really well going forward and defensively 100% rock solid. Leif Davis may well be that player. But let me know in the comments. I mean, left back is a position that we just can't seem to settle on at the minute, isn't it? So that looks like a possibility for this summer. But let me know what you think. Have you heard of him? Have you seen him? Would you be excited if he was to come to Newcastle? Let me know in the comments below. But there you go. That is the news for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you have enjoyed it, do stick a thumbs up on it, guys. Very important to the channel that we keep those coming in. And if you're new and you like what you see, come and subscribe. It is free to do so. Hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we schedule the live shows and recordings like this. And of course, we're heading towards 28,000, guys, which is a massive, massive amount for us as a channel. So thank you very much in advance for that. Don't forget, if you're watching this on Thursday, we are back tonight at 7 p.m, and that is for the match preview for the Wolves game. So join the three of us then. We'll take a look at possible tactics, lineups, and, of course, the all-important score predictions. But thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care.